that? Absolutely amazing. This is amazing. I haven't seen this leopard in many years.
There's another leopard there.
Have you seen that killed a serval?
I see ya.
Tell me how you recognize it.
Well, to be honest, just with where we are, size, I mean, obviously we know the age of the cub. And
isn't there a way counting the little spots closest to the nose or the...
yeah, no, the whisker spots there. Guys, Neil is just asking, I don't think he's seen this leopard for a long time as well. Oh, guys, what a great surprise to come back to. I'm just going to go a little bit forward, Andrew. We've got two leopards here. One female leopard I saw her last year in November, but I literally saw a patch of her skin. I never actually saw her. Look at that. Unbelievable. This is Tingana. Sorry, now called Shadow. Awesome, Andrew. Did you see that enough?
I just want to show the kill quickly.
I'm going to try and show you that again later on. That's the kill. Don't get a fright. It's not a leopard they've killed. It is a serval, which is something we never even see alive out here. Not never, but very seldom. We will try and show you that better again. But look at this. Two leopards, a cub in the back, going at about 8 months old now. This is the oldest Shadow has been able to raise a cub to, so that's very exciting. Beautiful, not a very big cat. Her sister Tundi. Now these two leopards, sorry, just to explain why it's sort of reuniting for me. I knew these leopards very well when they were growing up. This was in the sort of earlier years of Juma. Not of Juma, sorry, I'm just thinking two things at the same time. This is the early years of WildEarth at Juma, that Karula was busy raising them. So we used to call it Tingana and Saseka. Tingana is now Shadow. It means the same thing, really, sort of similar meaning to the name. She's a little bit shy and elusive often, so this is a real treat to see her like this. Amazing. Small leopard, not very big. Oh, look at that. As I really hope HT can get this side as well. I've got to call HT again. No, I would love to see these leopards. I don't think he's ever seen Shadow. Confirm, Hayden. HT, I'm not sure where you are at the moment, but we've got a very cool opportunity here to see Shadow and the cub. Just south of Impala Plains Junction, if you're coming up, you'll see a branch on the right-hand side of the road if you're coming from the south. If you want to come in here, I'll give you a space as well as soon as you're closer. Yeah, I'm not sure what she'll get up to, so if you're not got anything specific, maybe just come straight this way. I'd love for you to get opportunity to see this cat. And they've also, interesting enough, killed a serval. Great. Guys, just with opportunity like this, firstly, how lucky were we here? That's I mean, if I was to drive through the bush here seeing nothing, I would see this tree and think, wow, imagine seeing a leopard on that branch. And that's what we just did.
Pete, the alarm call in the background, is that a squirrel?
That one there, that's Crested Franklin.
Oh, well done.
Not sure why. Probably saw the leopards jumping down. Guys, I'm going to try and show you the serval again. Neil, you haven't seen this cat for a long time, huh? That's the cub from Karula from about, how old is that now? 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. The one that you guys see more, I think, is Tundi, eh? Yeah. It's her sister. I'm going to try and... We're going to just try and show you the serval, and then I want to see where that leopard's going. We are right on the sort of edge of one of our areas, so not quite hearing final control that well. If you have questions and I'm not getting them at the moment, we will get to them as soon as I can hear them properly. But this is very interesting what they've killed here. Also interesting, they didn't eat it. They've only killed it. At a quick glance, you might think... In fact, let me make sure it is a serval. Just have a look there for a second. I thought it might be a baby cheetah. I'm going to just get a bit closer. Normally just don't want to jump out now. Yeah. Sorry, one more look there. Well, guys, it's fairly common for predators to kill other predators. I mean, lions, leopard, hyena, they all kill each other at some stage or another. They kill each other's offspring sometimes. That is a serval. Amazing. But they don't normally eat each other. Hyenas will sometimes eat other predators if they've killed them. There has been recorded cases of leopard eating leopard cubs when they've killed them, but it's very rare. Normally they just kill them to eliminate competition. You know, even though their niches vary slightly, they are still eating essentially, you know, the same food. Sorry, I'm just thinking a bunch of things at the same time. But I'm really happy to have seen this leopard, and not only that, Shadow can be a very tricky character to see. She's a little bit of a slippery customer sometimes, and that's been since cub. I mean, since they were babies with Karula, she was always the shy one, and her sister Tingana. Sorry, I still refer to the old name sometimes. Her sister Tingana was the one that was sort of the extrovert, sort of social personality. Sorry guys, I'm moving around. I just want to find our best view. 10 hour right. Bobs again. Sorry, my radio might be down again. South from Impala Plains, just past the power line crossing. Slightly on Mandela, you head into Boyatela west, east a little bit. 2 mobiles unlocked, the third mobile that easy is broken down, so no more lungus. It's going to slowly. Now, the strange thing with Shadow is she's not unhabituated. Oh, the cub is... Oh, they're eating. Oh, they've got another kill. Wow. Very interesting. So it's not that sorry guys, I'm going to keep apologizing for getting the names mixed up. I just call these leopards a slightly different name for so long. For Shadow, it's not that she's wary of vehicles. She's perfectly habituated, the same as her mother Karula, the same as Quarantine, or the same as Tundi. It's just that she's quite often secretive. In other words, she would hide in the thick bush if she wants to. But this morning, we spoiled because she's out in the open. And
see the cubs on a baby steenbok.
A baby, Neil?
Yeah, well, on a
little one.
Steenbok.
That's amazing. Okay, we're going to try and show you. Sorry. with myself yet. It was one of those things where lots was happening, and I really couldn't believe my eyes when I saw Shadow up on the branch like that. She's sort of just relaxing down in the grass there, but let's try and show you. It's not a great visual. It is under some thick cover. But if you look there, that's the cub. Now, it's my first time really seeing this cub. I presume it's, or not presume, I know it's about 7 going on 8 months old. I haven't been able to sex it myself. Guys, you that know these leopards very well, if a couple of you could just let me know a little bit of information about it, that would be great. But as I said, very exciting. It's the oldest that Shadow has successfully raised the cub so far. And this cub is now at the stage 7-8 months where it's going to start learning to hunt a little bit, how to protect the food by hiding it either under a bush like this or up in a tree. Hiding the kill under a bush is also very successful. They don't want to be found by other predators, so by being hidden, that gives them a better chance already. And also, it puts them out of view from aerial viewers, vultures, eagles, things that might give this away. And even though we can't see it, Neil was just telling me, they've just left with the other vehicle, but they could see from the other side, it looks like a young steenbok. So not a very large kill, but enough certainly for both of these cats to get a decent belly full of food. Observation, Lynn. Good morning. Or good late evening for you in Michigan. Lynn is just asking a question based on observation. And those, you know what, back where I'm training up some guides for what we do now, and it's something that in my early days of guiding, my great mentor and great friend now, Benedict Clark, and later on Gus and those guys, they always said, you know, if you could talk about what is actually going on, if you could observe and then understand what's going on there, that is much more interesting than just the pure facts. So Lynn is saying she's noticed before and seeing it again that Shadow is not putting the kill under up in a tree like we would see often with other leopard, and just asking why. But we going to discuss that again shortly, because I think that's a great question. So just give me a few seconds, Lynn. We're just waiting for a few more people to join us, and I want them to hear it as well. First light coming through now, beautiful. Look at it, just almost like a little beam of light right on Shadow there, which I guess you could call ironic since her name is Shadow. Situation here for us. So now that we've settled down and slowed down a bit, we've got a nice spot to sit, just to sort of organize all the conversations we had in the last bit. And I think it ties in beautifully with your question. Lynn from Michigan was asking just now, she's noticed before with Shadow when they've seen her that the carcass or the kill is kept under a tree. Saw it with an impala a while back. Now many leopards take the kills up into a tree, and there's some big trees around here, so it's not for lack of a place to sort of put the carcass. But Lynn, some leopards just have a different habit from others. Shadow, having always been a little bit shyer, maybe not wanting to be out in the open as much, has done that a lot in the past. Trying to remember now, but there's been other leopard around here, even male leopard, that had this habit as well. So it does depend a little bit on the preference almost of the individual, and also the habits they've learned. But hiding it under a thick tree like this, under a sort of lush bush, is also good cover. It doesn't need to be up in a tree. Up in a tree means hyenas can't climb up. Lions potentially could. Other leopard, very importantly, could as well. Hiding it under a tree like this, I'm going to just show you there. There you can see the bush that it's under. I'm going to show you the cub right in there. Hiding it like this means it's not likely to be discovered by anyone. And that's good. Birds aren't going to see it. and another leopard or lion or hyena would have to really walk close past to see this. So it could be in part that she's trying not to attract the attention of potentially other leopard. And then, as I said, it is in part also just the habit of it. They're busy eating, or the youngster at the moment, this cub is busy eating a young steenbok. We couldn't see it from here, but another vehicle could see it earlier. And they've also killed but not eaten a serval. Beautiful cat, a serval. It's a little bit sad, but a serval looks like a sort of a miniature cheetah almost. Beautiful, beautiful cat. But they purely killed it. Maybe it came around to investigate the kill or something, and it's competition for them. So it's not something they're likely to eat, but one less predator to compete against. HT for Pieter. Right, sorry, my radio was a little bit down. Are you on Triple M yet? Yeah, keep going to Triple M Junction and then turn up towards the north. And if you're going along a ways before you get to Impala Plains, but you'll see it clearly. You'll see the vehicle tracks turning off to the right. So back into Voyatella off Triple M. There's a little branch as well. And then as soon as you start turning in there, you'll start seeing us. At the moment, just us here. I haven't had anyone else respond. I know Susie and them were asking earlier. I haven't heard from them again. Guys, just everyone update all stations. My radio might be down, but the next mobile can just pull in. We are on Triple M south of Impala Plains. There's a Slashla on the road. Into Voyatella, Tingana, Shadow and Mampimpan on Bamba. Next mobile to arrive, welcome to just pull in. Sharp Ephraim, is the lineup at the moment? Yeah, straight on for. But yeah, if you come here, you can pull in, and if you can handle the lock for me, I'll make space. When for HT, I'll give you my space. Alright guys, sorry, just a bit of organizing there. Maybe if you haven't done many drives with us, a very key important part of the experience of finding wildlife here is the vehicles working together. Without the radio communications, without us helping each other, we wouldn't see half the game we do. So we're just talking to the other vehicles, letting them know what's going on, arranging who's going to come have a view. And there are quite a few vehicles, you can imagine. There's a leopard and a cub to see. But when Hayden gets closer, I'm going to give him my spot so that he can get in here and see them as well. And we'll go look around some more. But yeah, I'm just excited. You've probably heard I'm excited. I'm talking over myself sometimes. Just so lovely to see this cat. Good question as well, Renee. Good morning. Renee is just asking if this is maybe the cub's first kill. Let me just put this into perspective. This cub is about 8 months old now. This cub would it's highly unlikely that it would have made the kill. So this would have been mum that made the kill. Probably not even with the cub with her. Maybe the cub was hidden somewhere and then would fetch the cub and bring it to the kill. Although at 7-8 months, the cub will start joining the adult for the hunts as well, just to start learning. But not likely that this kill was made by the cub. But Renee, also at the same time, not impossible. There was an amazing case a few years back with a leopard cub that I think the mum was killed. I forgot the details. Some of you guys that follow all the leopards of the Sabi Sands would know the story. But the cub ended up being on her own or his own. I can't remember the sex of it. This is just a story from years back. And I think at 8 months it was solitary. And it survived. It managed to reach maturity and go on. So it's not impossible for a leopard cub to survive at 7-8 months on its own, but very, very tough order. But this one doesn't have to worry about it because he's got a fantastic mother in Shadow. She's got the genetics coursing through her veins all the way back to Safari, the female that I know, which was Karula's mother. So that would be Shadow, Tundi, Q, Kunyuma, Mishon and Duna, other leopards we knew very well. That would be the grandmother to all of them. Danzo. Ephraim, if you go a little bit to your left, you'll get I think you get a good view where Neil was sitting, other side from me. Okay, Aubrey, yeah, if you famba straight, Mafazi Ingwela, and then under the red bush willow is the Mampimpan Kojaring. Guys, I see HT in the distance, and HT, you got the turn off there, yeah. Just come in there, mate, and then if you come around the Termite Mound, you can take my spot here. I know that Hayden's got a little surprise around his leopard for you as well. Yeah, I didn't. I presume you've turned in there now. I just saw your vehicle. So if you take those tracks in, and then just come around as you're coming in, go to the right of the brown cruiser and around the back of this Termite Mound, and then you'll see me. Planning here, but as I said, there's a little surprise that HT has got in store for you guys surrounding these two leopards, specifically about the one that we're looking at now. Leave it at that. Hayden can tell you about that. Because I think what I'm going to do is from our side, at least for now, I'm going to say goodbye to these two leopards. I'm just super happy to have seen Shadow and the cub, and to have seen them so absolutely beautifully out in the open. And by the same token, happy that HT can come and have a look as well. If you go around on your sort of right from the Termite Mound between us, to the right of that cruiser, and then you circle in where I am. Awesome. Worst ways to spend your morning in the bush. Great elephant herd, 50 yards behind us. Great leopard with the cub.
Mate, how amazing. How amazing.
Very happy. And I'm
so
very
tell
happy
me what the story is. Fill me in.
Very happy that, sorry, there's lots of radios all at once.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it. Enjoy.
Okay.
Shadow and the youngster.
Shadow and the babe.
Yeah, but we saw...
Amazing.
Let me just show you how they were when we arrived.
Oh,
it's
super.
like this when we arrived, so
wow.
We're very lucky.
Thanks, big guy. Thank you so much, eh?
Have fun.
Yeah, thank you.
See you a bit later. There's some Eddies around as well, but they've gone that side.
Thanks.
Right, guys, enjoy it with H. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
See you later.
Fantastic. Wow, guys. This is incredible. We're just going to go and pop ourselves in here nice and gently. Find her. Just behind that little tiny bush there, it's a little bit hard to see here. I'm just gonna turn the vehicle off just to get her used to. So I don't want to disturb her. I don't want to get her to move, or I would never get her to move, but accidentally make her move. So you can just see through there, And I know that the image isn't absolutely clear for you because of the vegetation in front, but the most important thing is that we just get her acclimatised to the vehicle. They are very, very conditioned to the vehicles and habituated, as we've always said. But, you know, if you drive a vehicle up really close, obviously the animal's going to move, and that's not what we want. Now, I think the cub is there as well. I'm not sure. I can't see from here. So we're just going to sit tight. What the situation was then is Pete has given up his spot for us to come in, and what a honourable thing that was to do. That was just so lovely of him, because you know we have to manage the vehicles on a leopard sighting, so everyone gets a turn. But there was quite a lineup. I was on the other side of the reserve. And by the time I got here, there was already 3 or 4 people in the lineup. Now, never ever think that is a, oh goodness, a poor animal, lots of different vehicles coming in. There's a seriously strict code of conduct when it comes to viewing these animals, and everyone adheres to that code of conduct. We stay the correct distance. We make sure we don't disturb the animals, and it's really a great thing that people do adhere to. So please always know that the animals' best interests are at heart for us, and we'll make sure that as many people can see these beautiful creatures and know how important they are, where they fit into the ecosystem in the big picture. But back to Shadow. She's got she hasn't had the best of luck in the past with her raising her cubs, sadly, but she's doing her best, and I think this cub that she's got at the moment, I'm not sure if the cub's here, but I think the cub that she does have is getting to a better age than the rest have, and I just want to try and get you a better image of it, Brian. But let's just let Ephraim over there get into position. He's a wonderful guide that just pushed us to the side and let us in now. So, Shadow. This is the first time I've seen Shadow since I've been back. I only saw her a couple of times in November. She's quite elusive, but she's becoming more, sightings are becoming more frequent as she's getting more confident. I suppose when she had that cub, she laid low. But there's been some lovely sightings. The guys, Scotty and Brent and the others have told us about some of the beautiful sightings they've had with her. So we'll see what goes on here, but the intelligence is that she's killed a serval. Now, servals are really interesting. Another interesting feline in Africa that you don't see very often. It just goes to show they will hunt other carnivores or other predators. They're opportunistic, and they're quite incredible. Nice big yawn there. So really thank Pete. It's such a nice thing to do, and definitely want to try and repay this. This is a really lovely gesture, because I haven't seen Shadow for a long time, and he wanted to get us in here to see Shadow as well. So hats off, really, really lovely thing to do.
You have to sit down. You have to sit down. Sit down. We're not going to do this. Just step back. Go for the unit. This one, the name is Pieter.
I don't think so.
Sure, he's the one. Calling you from the but Pieter is a William. You know William John is in the front. You see those names, those names. You see here we get him Harry. We get Terry, also Terry, the one of our teachers.
Got a question from Linda and Nancy. I think, Linda, you're in Minnesota. Welcome aboard, and fantastic to have you with us. I'm sorry, I'm not sure where Nancy is, or whether you're in Minnesota too, but Nancy and Linda, welcome aboard, and great to have you with us.
I think it's nowhere can be. Let's see from here. Let's try, just like.
And the question you've got, both of you, is whether the cub will still be nursing at this age. And this cub is about 7 months from what we can gather, and it's a male from what we can gather as well. It won't be nursing. They're weaned at about 3 months, and it really does depend the relationship with the female. Sometimes they can be sort of hanging around in that mother's home range for up to 22 months, but they're definitely not suckling anymore. So I don't know where the cub is. I don't know whether they're together. I can't quite see from here. Can you see, Brian, from where you are, if there's another?
Unfortunately not.
Another animal there, because I can't quite see from here. But we'll definitely, we're on her now, and we'll stick with her, and we'll get to know more about her. But maybe some of you could help me with some of the history as well. But we really, I learned so much about these cats from you. Many of you watching and have watched Wild Earth and Wild Safari Live for so long have a lot of information out there. So anything you want to email in and send to me that you can help me with, that would be really appreciated. I haven't been with Shadow a lot at all. All I know is she's hasn't had a great success with her litters. She is the daughter of Karula, and any other information would be really fantastic from you. So if you want to pop that in an email or a couple of text messages, some short, sharp facts for me, that would be really appreciated, folks.
1 year, the baby got it.
I got some questions from Dara and Anna in the United States, and I think your question is that can the cubs climb trees, or how well can they climb at this age? Well, they can climb pretty well, that's for sure. They can climb pretty well when they're very, very young, as they do go up into trees, smaller trees, particularly like the size of the one you can just see at the top of the screen. They'll be testing their ability, gaining their strength, but as time goes on at this age, They definitely are great at getting up into trees. Wouldn't be able to, of course, haul up a kill like an adult could, but they practice and practice and practice, and will be still following her mum around and practicing as time goes on. But they're fantastic climbers. It's just instinct, and it's just in their genetics to be able to, and their ability to climb trees is astounding, absolutely astounding. I saw some pictures that Brent showed, I think it was of, can't remember whether it was Mvula, Tingana, I think it might have been Kanyuma actually, but he was right out in this dead tree on the most incredibly sort of fragile looking limbs, and Brent was telling me that every time you take a step there'll be a limb crack, and they do have this great ability to climb. It's really spectacular to watch too. Folks, now I've got the picture. If you have a look, Brian, in the position you're in, that is Karula. Now, if you just scan across, mate, sorry, shadow that is, I do apologise. If you just pan around to the right, and under this bush willow here on the right, I can hear the cub just under in there. Keep going. Just in there, if you stop there, the cub is eating. You can see a little bit of movement in there. The cub is eating a steenbok. Now, I'm just going to gently, I don't want to have two cars running at the same time. It's really hard to see, Brian.
Yeah, I can see it there.
It's just in there, and there is the cub. So we do have both the animals. How fantastic is this? Wow. This is beautiful. We're obviously going to be able to get a better view. We're going to stick with both of these animals for a while, so let's just be patient and just stick with what's going on. The other vehicles have got good views from the other side there.
Yeah, see my little more, but you can see my somewhere. You pull out Nana.
Just trying to. So that is Shadow. She's keeping an eye out, and her cub is eating a steenbok. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I think you can come back here, you can see along Triple M, so you put it away. If you have a car, you have to wear this.
So we're sitting, she's just sat up now, she's sat up. We're sitting with Shadow and her cub, and this is what I've been waiting to see as well. I've really wanted to see these two. They're a little bit elusive. Shadow doesn't have a fantastic history of with raising her cubs successfully. This cub is about 7 months old. She's the daughter of Karula, and the cub is over under a tree eating a steenbok at the moment, which is a small antelope. Really nice size little meal for the cub, and she's keeping an eye, a really close eye, because as everyone probably watching knows, there's inevitably going to be an arrival of, well, not inevitably, but more than likely an arrival of our friends the hyena. There's normally hyena trailing these guys after a kill. So she's just keeping her eyes open, looking around, making sure, because if there was an opportunity, a hyena or wild dog would potentially take her cub and even her. So it's a really, really dangerous situation for her to be in. Every day is a dangerous move. When you're coming out, your cub is under a tree, eating, devouring a steenbok, and you've got to keep your eyes peeled for any other predators approaching. The gestation period is around 90 to 100 days, and as I said, the cubs are weaned about sort of 3-ish months on, and it really is a matter of then just survival and trying to get through for these guys. Got a lot of predators on the reserve at the moment, a huge amount of predators, so we've really got to keep our eyes open, and that's exactly what Shadow is doing right now. So we've got a question from Bud in Iowa. Lovely to have you aboard with us this morning, mate, and thanks for watching. And your question is you want to know whether the cub is male or female, and if it has a name yet. Well, the cub actually is a male, that's confirmed. It doesn't have a name yet, and it is definitely getting to an age where it could be looking like it's going to survive, but anything can happen, and that jeopardy that sort of is in the raising of your litter, your cub or cubs, is always paramount and always in their mind. There's so many predators around, and so many animals that could actually kill your cubs. So you've got to be on standby constantly to.
We landed these things last night, but we don't even get to view them.
Sorry, mate?
I said we landed these mapas in the Matuan the whole day yesterday. It's the first time we get to view it. We got in here last night, whatever, that happened with the Morba. By the time we can even get into here this morning, 5,000 vehicles is pushing me out. Cool, man. Take this up.
Just talking to one of the other guides, and he's just been waiting for a while to see. They've been tracking these guys all day yesterday. just had an email through from Bob. Thank you very, very much, Bob, for all that information. Really great. Oh, look at her. She is so beautiful. She's picking up the scent of something. Really, really fantastic, Bob. And Bob's given me great information about she is the granddaughter of Safari, the daughter of Karula, and this is her longest living cub, so we're really excited about that. Look at her, she's so beautiful. She's definitely picked up the scent of something. I'm just going to see if we can get a little bit better view of the cub, so I'm just going to try and reposition the vehicle and see how we go. Obviously don't want to disturb her or the cub. So we've got the cub is just inside there. It's very tricky to see it. Brian's zooming in right now, and you can just see him just starting to feed there. There we go. There we go. So that's the little guy there. Very tricky to see. The radio communication in this area at the moment is really, really difficult to hear the radios at the moment, so I can't really pick any comms up from Pete, but for some reason the spot we're in, folks, is really, really tricky to pick up even the radio comms from the guides or anyone. So we're sort of just sitting here on our lonesome at the moment. We've got another vehicle that is just there on standby, and I don't really want to move in any closer. It would definitely disturb the cub. At the moment he's completely fine with us being here. She's completely fine with us being here as well, so I think we should just sit pretty here and just enjoy what we've got. Now you may hear my camera go up off a little bit now. I'm just going to try and take a couple of photographs of Karula. Karula. I keep calling it Karula because she's Karula's daughter of Shadow. A little bit of scratching around. So I'm just going to try and take a few photographs, folks. If you do hear a bit of clicking carrying on, I do apologise. It's always good to just try and get a couple of ID. And what we do is, you know, as when we're doing this job, we try and pick up as many photographs as we can, because when we go back to wherever we come from, they're great to have an ID when you need to just brush up on who's who. It is very, very difficult to ID leopards if you're not with them constantly, but there is a technique which we talked about the other day, and if you go onto the WildEarth Facebook page, you can see the techniques that is used by scientists and avid leopard specialists and researchers with the spot pattern on the top whisker row of their face is normally unique to each individual leopard, but for us, sometimes it's really great just to be asking you. That's what this is all about. You know probably more about these leopards than many of us because you've watched these leopards for many years, and that's what the fantastic thing about Wild Safari Live is. We can interact with you. You can help us with the IDing of the leopards, and it just makes the whole process and the whole encounter much more interesting and much more interactive. We get the conversation going, and I learn loads from you about these leopards, and it is always really, really exciting when you get the chance to be with a mother and cub, and really exciting that this cub has gotten to the age that it is. So if you've just joined us, we're sitting with Shadow and her cub at the moment, and Shadow is a female leopard that is really, really beautiful. She hasn't had a great success with her past litters. This is the oldest cub she's had to date. She is the daughter of Karula, granddaughter of Safari, and a really, really beautiful, beautiful leopard. A little bit shy compared to the others, but she's really in good form this morning. I don't know if you can see the back of her head there, Pete. Bri. But really delicate, just moving around to the left. She's just sitting down over there. A much more she's looking around, lovely. I don't want to move any closer just because, or move the vehicle again, because we're in a lovely spot here. But she's the features on the females are much more delicate, much more elegant, I'd probably put, and the males have got a much more buffier, square, chunky head, but really beautiful. At a glance, if you saw her at a glance and you're in the bush, you could mistake her for a cheetah, just the back of that head there. Hi Connie. Connie's in Iowa sending us a question. Really lovely to have you on board, and thank you for your question. It's a really nice concept and a great sort of philosophy or theory that you've got. Would the eating the prey on the ground lessen the risk of the scent being carried and other predators or scavengers picking up on that? And I think I would say the answer to that is yes, Connie. And I think your theory is well substantiated with what I've seen in the past. You definitely do get animals picking up scent on the wind at those higher up in trees. But what happens is the situation with putting it up in a tree is you can store it for later, and you do have that distinct advantage of being able to go up into a tree and eating it. The height or the trees that are around here aren't quite big enough for her to do that, and there's no sort of good trees for her. She would have had to drag that kill quite a way, or carry that kill, quite a ways to get it up into an appropriate tree, and it might have been too high. No, I'd probably say that a cub would have been able to get up there as well, but I think they just wanted to get into it as quickly as they could. But nice theory, and I think I'd go along with that for sure. But really, really nice to think strategically like you're thinking there, Connie. So thank you very, very much for your question, and hope you're enjoying the drive this morning.
His spots look smaller.
Excuse me, please. A question from Elizabeth in Minnesota. Elizabeth, very, very interesting question as well. These two questions and many of the others as well, but the last one and this one, philosophical or sort of theory questions about what your potential sort of theories and strategies are behind thinking of the effects that we have on watching these animals, and your question is whether the vehicles, other predators or scavengers, predators, they're all predators, have a following of the vehicles, in the sense that they're connecting that when there's a vehicle, there's a potential that with a leopard with a kill. So sorry to rephrase that without making it as convoluted as I just did. Do predators associate the vehicles with a potential kill? I would have to say I don't think that actually is. They do that because they see vehicles so many times during the day. They would have to be chasing vehicles all over the place, and I think the repetition of us not being with a kill and just looking at for example, looking at hoofed animals, like watching elephants or buffalo or something like that, would result in us not being with an animal that's already been killed. So I think the numerous times that we're not watching leopards and lions on kills would combat that theory. But I do understand what you're saying about maybe the number of vehicles. I don't know, but I think that it would be an evolutionary thing, that it would take a very, very long period of time for them to change their behaviour and learn that. But it's an interesting theory. Do we associate? Do the predators associate the vehicles with kills? I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't, but I think that they'd probably pick up the scent and the noise, maybe. Who knows? But it's a good theory. It's an interesting theory, and great to hear people thinking like that and understanding that we do have an impact, and that impact is minimal, but the payoff is that the little impact that we do have on these reserves is that we actually can bring people and pictures to people to understand how important this habitat is and how important this wildlife is. So it's a really, really important thing to know that there is always going to be a payoff. As soon as human puts a foot on the ground, there's always going to be an impact, but I think the payoff is definitely outweighs that small impact that we do have. The whole tourism wildlife sort of conversation is a really interesting one. You can't have one without the other, in a way. I mean, these protected areas, one of the reasons why these protected areas are here is because of tourism. So they both assist each other, and You know, in my sort of utopian dream of these vast tracts of land where animals roam free and humans get on perfectly in harmony with them, those places are becoming smaller and smaller. So we do need reserves like this, we do need tourism like this, and we do need those to go hand in hand, and that's why we're sitting right where we're sitting today. Wow, she's just come out, the cub's coming out now, Brian. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now Mum's going in for her feed. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? So Shadow has just walked in back to where that steenbok kill is, and the cub, who is absolutely spectacular, just back to the left. Brian has got a really lovely little pose for us now. Looking, he's going back in with his mum. No, he's just going to clean himself there. Just laid down. He might be a little bit out of your vision, but you've got a nice shot of his face. And now Mum's dragging out. Mum's dragging the kill back out and around, and she's going to have a bit of a feed on it herself. So great behaviour to watch here, folks. Really nice. Shadow has just sat there and kept an eye out for her cub, whilst her cub has devoured as much as he can eat, and now she's going in to finish off and eat as much as she can. She may store it up a tree. There is a couple of smaller trees around to the side here, but once they've finished eating as much as they can, I think the carcass will be easy enough to carry, and we'll just see what happens. But we're going to stay with them. We're going to be right here, and we're going to sit with these two beautiful cats, and I'm pretty sure you're all fine with that. So we're sitting with these two beautiful cats. If you've just joined us, Shadow and her cub, her 7-month-old cub, and we're really privileged to be sitting here whilst they finish off a steenbok, which is a small antelope that Shadow has killed. And we've got a question from Sandy in Texas. Welcome aboard, Sandy, and great to have you with us this morning. Sandy wants to know, is Shadow in Karula's territory? Well, the territories do overlap. Shadow's territory is more on Arathusa than it is over here on Juma, but she is sort of overlapping into her mother's territory slightly. And the territories aren't exclusive. They do have overlapping areas, that's for sure. And the territories can range, goodness, from incredible amounts. It's the size really depends on food availability and the concentration of leopards. But it's there. They can range from in the single units of miles, square miles, to up to 40, 50 miles, and I have to do those conversions for you, but they're always dependent on food availability and concentration of leopard. There's some incredible places in the world where the leopard concentration is just phenomenal, and they tolerate each other, and obviously there's going to be skirmishes between males and etc., but there's a very, very high density in a couple of areas of Asia as well, so it really does depend on many, many things. But yes, to answer your question, Sandy, Karula's territory is where we are right now, and Shadow is just on the periphery of it. So I've got my radio comms here aren't fantastic, folks, so I don't really know what Pete's up to. I haven't heard him on the radio. I can't really hear anything that's going on. The static here is very, very, very bad, but what I think we should do is probably cross to Pete and see what he's up to. And he's like a bloodhound this morning with leopards.